Semiconductors up 40% for the year, but will the rally continue in 2022? Joining us to discuss Wedbush securities analyst Matt Bryson. Matt, Happy New Year to you. Well, let's just start with that question. Will the trend continue?
Happy New Year. So yes, I think certainly, at least from a demand perspective, we saw in 2021, where there was extremely strong demand for semiconductors that was driving a lot of what occurred in the market. I certainly see that continuing in the coming year, both as people catch up to demand that couldn't be fulfilled, and then some underlying technology trends like AI, like 5G, that continue to proliferate and that just need more semiconductors.
In the CNBC stock survey, 35% of those surveyed said that they believe that within tech, semis will be the outperformer. Where within semis do you see the most opportunity right now?
So I think a lot of the trends that we're looking at that are driving semi-content, they really benefit the broader semiconductor market. And so there are some areas where you haven't seen as much outperformance. Certainly, Nvidia is best positioned in AI. But when I think about artificial intelligence, for instance, you need a ton of storage. Artificial intelligence is based upon these very large data sets. And so you look at a company like Western Digital that supplies the hard drives, that supplies the solid-state drives that are needed to store that data. It hasn't seen the same rally that, say, Nvidia has or an AMD has. I think areas like that, some of the underperformers in 2021 that still benefit from these trends, are where we'll see outperformance in 2022.
Matt, does it pay to try and be a kind of value or contrarian player in the semiconductor space with something like an Intel at this point, or is it just in the kind of too difficult category?
So I think it pays to be contrarian. It's just with Intel, the difficulty in my mind is some of the things they are struggling with. So being behind in technology, losing share, seeing some of their major customers like Amazon go and develop solutions internally. I don't think those challenges go away in 2022. Rather, I think it's a 3-year, 4-year process for Intel to turn stuff around. Certainly, Pat Gelsinger has alluded to a longer time frame. And in particular in 2022, where you're still looking at a lot of the roadmap that was created pre-Pat. I think Intel is going to continue to struggle with increased spending. At the same time, they're continuing to lose share. And so, well, I personally like contrarian names. Intel's not one I like right now.
Yeah, Matt, you mentioned Nvidia as being kind of at the center of the big picture trends and, spilling off the need for storage. What about Nvidia as it's valued right now? $750 billion. You could kind of argue, it's also well off its record highs. But is it all realized in the price already?
So my view on Nvidia, I moved to a neutral. And my concerns aren't really around the AI space. Rather, I don't have a good grasp on what crypto demand is going to look like. I think certainly that's fueling some of the demand for their client graphics cards. And what we saw 2-3 years ago is when the crypto market tumbled, Nvidia also struggled with some loss of demand. And so that plus the valuation, that's what keeps me on the sidelines. But I certainly think when we look at particularly artificial intelligence next year and moving forward, NVIDIA has established itself as the dominant name in the space, and I don't see that changing. When and if the metaverse shows up, I certainly think that they will play a major role there. And so I think it's a great company. I think there are real significant demand drivers ahead. I just worry about that crypto space.